The following is a GNN special news update with Rhea Blakey.
Continuing our coverage of the devastating earthquake that struck Tennessee, Governor Phil Bredesen has now declared a state of emergency. This disaster declaration activates a broad range of authorizations that will allow mobilization of resources, activation of response and recovery plans, and release funding for disaster activities. The goal, to make aid available to those in need. Here's the announcement that was made just a few minutes ago.
Based on initial damage reports from Saturday's earthquake, 20 counties in western Tennessee have declared a state of emergency. The governor has been in communication with senior FEMA representatives and the president. The promise has been made that help is on the way. In addition, the governor has requested that the Stafford Act be invoked, releasing federal funds and assistance to aid in the state's recovery. The governor has activated the Tennessee National Guard. Soldiers and airmen will report at times and locations as directed by their chain of command. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency and other state departments are working closely with emergency personnel in affected counties, conducting life-saving and hazmat response missions. I assure the citizens of Tennessee that help is on the way. We are doing everything we can to respond to this emergency, save lives, and restore order as quickly as possible.
Information on earthquake effects continues to trickle in. GNN has just received word that the Methodist North Hospital in Memphis has suffered massive structural damage and has partially collapsed. Responders are on the scene trying to recover victims while continuing to provide medical services. Our correspondent Diane Donahue is in Tennessee at our GNN affiliate station. Diane, what can you tell us about the collapse of the Methodist North Hospital?
Well, Methodist North appears to be one of several hospitals adversely affected by the earthquake, but the collapse of this facility has further complicated emergency response efforts in Memphis and surrounding communities. The Methodist North Hospital has several hundred beds and key facilities that are no longer functional. Ideally, the medical center should have been one of the keys to the county's recovery. Instead, the hospital has become the center of its own rescue effort. The hospital is scrambling to treat not only a large number of incoming earthquake victims, but also many patients evacuated from the medical center due to the destruction. Meanwhile, many staff members are unable to report for work, likely due to injuries in their own families or impassable roads.
And has damage to roads affected other response efforts?
Yes, overpasses and bridges in the tri-state area have been severely damaged. Some have collapsed, stranding motorists, isolating communities, and made emergency response efforts increasingly a challenge. We've been told the Hernando de Soto Bridge that carries I-40 over the Mississippi River is severely damaged and now closed. Officials are allowing only emergency vehicles to pass over the Memphis-Arkansas Memorial Bridge on I-55. These bridge closures have largely isolated western Tennessee from anyone crossing the Mississippi River from the west, including potential aid.
And with thousands of citizens attempting to self-evacuate, safety has become a major concern for state and local officials.
Yes, and the damage to bridges and overpasses could be extensive, endangering motorists. And in locations where evacuation is mandatory, such as counties affected by the Wolf Creek Dam in central Tennessee, responders face a race against time. Though it is still standing, that dam has suffered some structural damage during the earthquake and the aftershocks. There have been some partial failures, and officials are concerned a total collapse could result in severe flooding of portions of central Tennessee.
What is the status of power and communication lines?
Well, widespread blackouts and disruptions to telecommunication lines continue, again, greatly affecting response efforts. In Shelby County, Memphis light, gas, and water officials suggest repairs to the system will require many weeks, if not months. Also, many of western Tennessee's airports have sustained damage from the earthquake. With roads and bridges heavily damaged, airlifting aid and resources into the area is expected to become critical. However, Memphis International Airport has sustained heavy damage to runways, control towers, and terminal buildings. Several fuel bunkers are reportedly burning now.
Diane, let me ask you, when do you think the airport will be up and running?
Well, the airport is attempting to restore services, but with the limited number of response personnel, it could be some time before flights can be safely resumed. In a word, the effects of this earthquake can be best defined as devastating. Much of the region is without power and utilities. Literally dozens of search and rescue missions are underway, and with damage to area airports and roads, help is not coming quickly enough.
Thank you, Diane. We'll return to you for updates and news as it becomes more available. For all of us here at GNN, I'm Rhea Blakey.
This has been a special news update tracking the deadly Tennessee earthquake.